What's going on, everybody? Yugioh for you, and we have a lot of news we gotta cover right here, right now. A lot of leaks for the Duelist Advent have been leaking out. I don't really know what's going on with that, but I have a lot of things that we need to actually talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. First off, we have Fantasia Princess Prodigy Mozart, a level 8 light fairy type effect monster, 2600 attack, 2000 defense. During the turn you activate this card's effect, you cannot special summon monsters except light monsters. Once per turn, you can special summon one light fairy monster from your hand. This is level 8, so this is a pretty nice card in my opinion for the 8 fairy deck with Valhalla and stuff like that, where you summon a bunch of level 8 fairies. So I think it is a pretty good card for that. Things for agents, not really something you want to use in agents, but if you're using the level 8 fairy deck, then this is a really good card for that deck in general, because you can easily get Athena or anything else that you so wish to get out. Next up, we have number 86. Yeah, we're still good numbers here. Heroic Champion. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Yes, the Heroic Challengers have a new Exceeds. I know. I bet a lot of you forgot that archetype even existed. So it requires 2 level 4 or more warrior type monsters, max 5. It has 1500 attack and defense. During each of your opponent's end phases, attach a material from this card. Accumulate the following effects based on the number of materials attached to this card. 1 or more, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. 2 or more, this card gains 1500 attack and defense. 3 or more, this card is unaffected by other card effects. 4 or more, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon. 5 or more, once per turn you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Yeah, this is a really powerful card if you can get all 5 materials. And there are some decks that can actually really use this correct, that can really do some good with this card. The Samurais can easily get this to like 3 of them. Boxers can easily abuse this card. The Heroics, not so much, because they don't really have a lot of spamming capabilities outside of possibly Double Blade, I think it's what's called. Oh no, it's Lancer, I think is what his name is, the one that's like a blizzard. But this is a pretty nice card. I don't really think it's going to see a lot of play, but like I said, 6 Samurais and Boxers can both really utilize this card to, I can say, its fullest extent, unless Heroic Challengers get some more monsters, which this is my first time really looking at the effects of these cards, so I don't really know what's coming right now. But the armor looks pretty freaking cool. Next up, we have Heavyweight Musa Big Ben K. And I believe the effect is unconfirmed, but it has level 8 Earth Machine, 1000 attack, 3500 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can change this card's battle position. All heavyweight Musha monsters you control can attack while they are in face-up defense position. If they do, use their defense instead of attack for damage calculation. So pretty much this is going to be a new archetype, the heavyweight Musha archetype, and I'm liking it already. An archetype that says, hey, I can still dish out damage to you while in defense mode, I think is pretty cool. So I actually can't wait to see more of this archetype, just to see what this is going to be, how this is going to work, and it's going to be pretty nice. Next up, we have Power Spring, or that Wacky Spring. I don't know why they did that, but it's a quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 spell Power Spring per turn. First effect is draw 1 card for each face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls. Then discard 1 card for each face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, spell and traps your opponent controls cannot be destroyed, and their activation and effects cannot be negated. Yeah, this is a pretty bad card, in my opinion, not really worth playing, but the artwork is pretty cool, and I do like the name, That Wacky Spring, so I kind of hope that is the name for the TCG version, because to me that sounds pretty friggin' awesome. Now we have another one called Space Time Trap Hole, which I'm guessing is this one right there. Well, you can't really see my mouse because I have it turned off in recordings, but it's by the spell card and above a Pendulum Monster by the looks of it, and it's the only trap card on this picture. Normal trap card. The final text is unconfirmed. When your opponent special summons a monster from their hand or extra deck, shuffle that monster into the deck. Then you lose 1000 life points for each monster shuffled. This is actually a really nice card in my opinion. The cost is a little hefty, but it's sort of like a watered-down solemn warning. So, could this mean that warning may get banned? Who actually knows? But it's going to be interesting to see how this card plays out if warning stays at 1. Now, the Star Serfs, which is an archetype that was in Zexal, is getting new support. Holy Lightning Scepter or Star Seraph Scepter. Level 4 Light Fairy, 1800 attack, 400 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Star Seraph monster from your deck to your hand except for himself. Second effect is an Exceed monster that was Exceed summoned using 3 monsters you control as the Exceed material, including this card, gains this effect. When this card is Exceed summoned, target 1 other card on the field, destroy that card, then draw 1 card. They now have a Stratos. This opens up a lot of plays for the deck, and this is a really nice card. Will this mean that these guys will become meta? I highly doubt it, but it is a really good card for the deck, and it would probably make more people make them want to try out the archetype and possibly play it. Next up we have the Star Seraph Scale. It is, of course, all of them are pretty much low for Light Fairies. I'm going to skip that part. But it has 1500 attack and 900 defense. It is the one you can see that actually looks like a scale. 2 effects. When this card is special summoned, you can special 1 Star Seraph monster from your hand. Then you can place 1 light monster in your graveyard to the top of your deck. Holy crap! An Exceed material that is summoned by using 3 monsters you can control, including this card, gains this effect. While this card has any Exceed materials attached to it, each turn, the first time a monster is special summoned from your hand, draw 1 card. So this is going to be a draw power type of archetype by the looks of it. And by what they're talking about number 102, I believe is what his number is actually. So it gives him more of a boost. Now we have the Holy Lightning Throne or Star Seraph Sovereign, which looks pretty badass in my opinion. Attack 800 to 1000 defense. This card cannot be used as an Exceed material except for an Exceed summon that would use 3 or more monsters as Exceed materials. If you normal summon or special summon a Star Seraph monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, draw 1 card. If that drawn card is a Star Seraph monster, you can special summon that monster. So it's pretty much sort of like an Infinity Archfiend in a sense, that like, hey, I draw a card. Oh, a Star Seraph, I can special summon it. It's just pretty, it's actually a really nutty card, and I kind of do like it. I will definitely admit that I do like this card. So the Star Seraph are looking at getting some more support. They're looking pretty good. The only downside is that they're sort of limiting you to like their actual good effects. Like this one right here, the throne is limited to monster require 3 level 4 monsters, 3 or more monsters. So that's kind of a bad thing in my opinion. But at least they're getting more support, and I'm kind of glad, and I hope they continue to get more support, because I am interested in the archetype even before this thing, but it just was really hard to really work with because of how minus you really went with the deck. But with all this effects of I get to draw and draw and draw and draw, it really, and plus they have a Stratos now, it really kind of makes up for the minus you do go with the deck. But now we're gonna have some Shadows. Hell yeah, Shadows. Shadows. I'm actually really excited for Shadows, so I can't wait to see what these guys have in store. Shadow Lizard, which looks like Kage. It really does look like Kage, because I don't think there's any dual terminal cards that like a lizard. Could be wrong. But 1800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use 1 Shadow Lizard effect per turn, only once that turn. First effect is, if this card is flipped face up, you can target 1 monster in the field and destroy that monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can send 1 Shadow card from your deck to the graveyard except for Shadow Lizard. It's pretty much Armageddon in a sense, and of course this coincides with the Shadow Fusion spell card, so pretty much you can really deck in your deck quite effectively. So that's actually pretty nice, and I like the fact that it does have sort of like a Snowman Eater or Man Eater bug type effect, which really makes them pretty useful. Next up we have Shadow Dragon, which is of course the one you can see that there's like a dragon, and it's level 4. So they're all spellcasters, which is pretty nice. So I can see this being combined with the spell books a little bit. So a little idea there for people who are wondering. I will be trying some of this stuff out. So it's 1900 attack, 0 defense. So at mass chameleon targets. I wouldn't really recommend playing Mass Chameleons. There's only one target, but maybe if you can combine other things together, it could be a viable option. You can only use the effect of Shadow. Use one Shadow Dragon's effect per turn only once that turn. If this card is flipped face up, you can target one card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy that card. That is pretty nice. This is a great card to combine with the card Shadow Fusion. Get a Fusion monster out, destroy a card. Freaking awesome. Next up we have Shadow Beast, which is a level 5 Dark Spellcaster, 2200 attack, 1700 defense, which is the one next to the dragon. A dragon! You can only use one Shadow Beast effect per turn only once that turn. If this card is flipped face up, you can draw 2 cards, discard 1 card. So it's sort of like a semi-graceful charity for the deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can draw 1 card. Like, this is going to be a really crazy archetype. I really want to try it out. I really can't wait for DevPro to really update with the new cards because they only have 3 of them on there, and I can't really even do anything with a deck with those 3 cards. So, I'm really excited, and they really have my attention with it. So, kudos to you, Konami. You really have my attention here. Next, we have Curse of the Shadow Prison, which is a field spell. Hello! A field spell for shadows. Man. Each time a shadow monster is sent to the graveyard by card effect, place 1 spellstone counter on this card. During your opponent's turn, all monsters they control lose 100 attack for each spellstone counter on this card. Once per fusion summon of a shadow fusion monster, you can remove 3 counters from this card to use 1 face-up monster your opponent controls as a fusion material. So this is pretty much like Super Poly, but in my case, I'd rather just use Super Poly instead of this. So I don't really think this is going to be really used all that much for the for shadows, in my opinion. I feel like Super Poly is better, but I like the artwork how you have a Satel Knight there and a shadow monster. So I think that's pretty cool. Next up we have Ochikake no Una. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I had to try. Anyway, Squirming Fallen Shadow. Sounds like a Kung Fu type of move. I don't know. But normal trap card. Send 1 shadow card from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can change any number of your face-down defense position shadow monsters to face-up defense position. That is actually not too bad. It combines very well with all the shadow monsters because they don't specifically say from field to graveyard, just sent to the graveyard. So this is going to be a really good card for the deck because of the fact that it combines the flipping effects of the shadows plus their other effects. So it allows you to pick and choose which ones you really want to use. So this is going to be a really good asset for the deck, especially as they get more support in future sets. Now speaking of Satel Knights, we have some more Satel Knights. I was waiting for this to come up because I've been having fun with Satel Knights. So next up we have Satel Knight Sham. Sham wow? Oh, I had to say that. Anyway, they're all level 4 light warriors, so you know. This one has 1400 attack and 1800 defense. You can only use the effect of Sham once per turn. When this card is summoned, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. I actually kind of like that. Pretty nice. And then we have the Satel Knight Unuk, which is the one that's next to Sham. You can probably see it's next to a spell card. It's in between a spell card and Sham. You can only use the effect of Unuk once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can send 1 Teleknight monster from your deck to the graveyard except for Satel Knight Unuk. This goes in line with Altair, which is the one you can see below here. Altair, the greatest assassin. I had to make that reference. But this one has 1800 attack and 1000 defense, so it's a really nice card to actually have. Altair is a rare, and this is the effect. You've already seen this already. Next up, we have Satel Knight Factor, which is the spell you can see by the one in the middle, but this is, you can see the actual card right here. It's an equip spell card. Equipped to a Teleknight monster you control, it gains 500 attack and defense. Also cannot be affected by opponent's card effects. If you control a non-Teleknight monster, destroy this card. So this is a pretty good combination with the all-powerful, their damn powerful Exceeds monster. This is going to be pretty interesting, and I definitely will try this card out when it goes on Dev Pro. Now we have 2 new Pendulum monsters, and this one is normal spell. Ha 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 ha. So here we have Radiant Knight. It is a scale of 7. Both of them are scales of 7. Level 4 Light Warrior. Pendulum effect none. A knight that has obtained a new power from the god Pendulum. Awaken and release your power. Yeah, cheesy I know, but effective, yes. Then we have Fall Cost Magical Stone. It is a scale of 2. 2200 attack, 1200 defense. The Pendulum effect is, during the end phase of the turn, this card is activated. You can target one face-up spell or trap card on the field, destroy that card. And then it says, a life form wandering in a fantasy space. Or at least that was how it was supposed to be. The greatest mystery is the fact that it doesn't have much of its previous memories is the reason for it. Perhaps this is why it's preventing Inference Eliminate. I actually like that. But that's pretty cool. Now, Dragon Stars. Yes, we have a wind and water now. So, Dragon Ruler time. It's a matter of time. Water Dragon Star Bishiki. 0 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use one effect of Water Dragon Star Bishiki once per turn. When this card you control is destroyed by battle or a card effect into the graveyard, you can special this card. You can special one Dragon Star monster from your deck and face up attack position except for itself. That's the one you can only use once per turn. That states, once per turn during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can synchro summon one synchro monster using only mythic dragon monsters you control as synchro materials. This is a quick effect. And a synchro monster that is used as this card's synchro material is unaffected by trap cards. Ooh. Next up we have Wind Dragon Star Horo. This looks pretty badass. Level 1 Wind, 0 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first effect once per turn, and it's same thing, special many Dragon Star except for Horo when it's destroyed. And always, they're always gonna have a form of synchro type effect where you can synchro summon to your opponent's main phase or battle phase. And if a monster is synchro summoned using him, it's unaffected by spell cards. Yeah, this is becoming a pretty interesting trend here. So, I would definitely be testing these guys out even more since we have more stuff for them. Next up we have Dragon Star Vein, which is a continuous spell card. Accumulate the following effects based on the number of different monster attributes of mythic monsters in the graveyard. Two or more Dragon Star monsters you control gain 500 attack. 3 or more, if a Dragon Star monster you control will be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. 4 or more, your opponent cannot step monsters, and all face-up monsters your opponent controls are switched to attack position. 5 or more, you can send this card to the graveyard. Destroy all cards on the field. Really, really not hard to use. This is a really good card in my opinion for Dragon Stars because of the fact that it's not really hard to get them engraved. Because you're going to be synchro summoning like crazy, they're going to be destroyed easily. So this is a really powerful card. The fact is that I just nuke the field. I can just instant Black Rose nuke in a spell card form. This is going to be a really powerful card in my opinion. But, of course, that's just me thinking. That's an opinion, it's not a fact, because I have yet to test this since it's not on Dev Pro yet, as far as I know. Or at least the time of recording this, it's not. So, yeah, that's just me just speculating. Then we have Dragon Star Limits! Huzzah! Continuous trap card. Your opponent's monster's deck can attack, must attack. During either player's main phase or battle phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard and synchro summon one synchro monster by using at least one Dragon Star monster as synchro material. I don't really see this card being too much play because of the fact that the Dragon Stars kind of do that on their own. But it's got a decent effect, I guess. But I don't really think it's going to get played much. Next up, Humming the Keyboard Djinn. So we have another Musical Djinn Exceed monster. It is a rank 4 water. Almost said level 4. Wait, what? Yeah, they kind of got that stupid. It's supposed to be rank 3. Good job. Anyway, 1100 attack, 1800 defense. Requires 2 level 3 monsters. When this card is special summoned, you can target one Djinn Exceed monster in the graveyard and special summon that monster. Then you can attach up to 2 cards from your hand as Exceed materials. Wow. Once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card, then target one Djinn Exceed monster you control. That monster can attack your opponent directly this turn. Wow, this is actually a pretty nasty little one. Good combination with Tempo or Music Rhythm if you're going to allow the rank 3s, as well as the Maestro Tiffany de Jin. So this is a really cool card for, I guess, the archetype, series of cards. So I can see possibly this getting some play because it's pretty cool. Now, probably my favorite generic seeds coming from this set is Winged Sky Blaster Castle! Castel, my bad, not Castle, Castel. Generic rank 4 wind monster. Requires 2 level 4 monsters, 2000 attack, 1500 defense. The reason this is one of my favorite ones because you can only use one Winged Sky Blaster Castel's effect per turn and only once that turn. You can attach a material from this card, then target one face-up monster, change it to face-down defense position. Attach 2 materials from this card, then target one face-up card in the field and shuffle it into the deck. Yeah, it's just like, hi, I'm going to shuffle things back into your deck. One of my favorites. I could definitely see this possibly becoming a staple in the extra deck. I'm not 100% sure. I have to test it, but this is, in my opinion, a really nice card for running 4 Exceed happy decks. Now we have Numbers Hunter, not a number monster, named Pending. And as you can tell, what they're playing off of is Kaito from Zexal. Just how they have Orbital 7, now they have Kaito. And they really didn't hide the fact that he's wearing pretty much the same outfit. And you can definitely, they really didn't hide it. They really didn't. Level 4 light warrior type monster, 1600 attack, 1400 defense. If this card is summoned, return all number exceed monsters on the field to the extra deck. Neither player can special summon number exceed monsters. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with exceed monsters and is unaffected by exceed monsters effects. So, not too bad of an effect. Not too bad. I kind of like it. I can see how it's definitely has some uses, but it's a card that I don't really think is going to get much play. But, of course, that's just me thinking right now that could change in the future. Next up, Hymn of Blessing. Can be used to retro summon Saphira the Dragon Princess, which was revealed quite a good couple, I think last month it was. Retro summon one Saphira the Dragon Princess from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 6 or more. If a ritual monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I don't remember what Saphira actually did effect-wise, but you can play this in Heretics. Just saying. We have another psychic monster, the Hypno Sister. We're getting into some Pokemon territory here, and that is freaking creepy. It's got an eye in the center of their head. Some sweeter shit going on here. It's the Kishin. The Kishin! Level 4 wind psychic, 1300 attack, 1400 defense. This card accumulates the following effects based on the number of cards in the Pendulum Zone. Ooh. One or more of this card gains 800 attack and defense. 2 or more at the beginning of the damage step. When this card battles, the Pendulum Summon monster, destroy that monster. 3 or more! Your opponent monsters must attack this card if able, and 4 or more if this card destroys a monster battle by its own effect, draw 1 card. Nice for Pendulums. I don't know how much it's going to get played, but it's a pretty nice little card. I think we're getting close to being done. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's going to be pretty lengthy. I'm sorry, guys. Marshalling Field, continuous trap card. You cannot special summon monsters except for machine type monsters. Once per turn, you can declare a level from 5 to 9. All level 5 or higher monsters you currently control become the level you declare. If a machine type exceed monster you control would be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 rank up magic Argent Chaos Force from your deck or graveyard to your hand. This is for gimmick puppets, in case you didn't know. This is made for the gimmick puppets, so you can easily make rank 8 exceeds really effectively. But this can also be used in machine gadgets if you so wish to. Just saying, that is a possibility. Metaphys Armed Dragon! Yeah, they finally made a light version of Armed Dragon, and it has no effect. What they do? A noble creature, what is essentially a phantom, a legend. This dragon stands at the very top. Yeah, people wanted a light rave, sort of like a light version of Dark Armed and Armed Dragon level 7. Here it is, and it's pretty shitty. And it's level 7, so no trading for you. Next up, we have Rebible. Oh god. This is going to be changed. I'm telling you right now. That's gonna be altered because it has the word Bible in it. Yeah. Level 1 Earth Psychic, 700 attack, 300 defense. You're going to effect of Revival once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard and you have at least 5 or less cards in your extra deck, then your 5 less cards in your extra deck than your opponent, you can pay 2,000 life points, special this card from your graveyard, banish this card when it leaves the field if it was summoned by this effect. And it's a tuner monster at that, so I guess sort of your replacement for Mind Maps, I think is what the card was called. And we have Heroic Challenger, 1,000 Blades, so we have a new monster! Oh, yes! 1,300 attack and 1,100 defense. You can only use the second effect of 1,000 Blade once per turn. Once per turn, you can discard 1 heroic card and special summon 1 heroic monster from your deck. And if you do, switch this card to defense position. After you activate this effect, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for heroic monsters. If this card is in your graveyard, when you take damage, you can special summon this card from your graveyard and face up attack position. This card is pretty kick-ass, really good for the heroic archetype. Again, this won't put him on the map at all. I don't even think it will make him tier 2, but it is something the deck did need, which was spamming capabilities. They need more of this, and they need it now if you really want to kind of push heroics. I don't know if this is from the anime or not, because I haven't really watched Zexo. I kind of stopped watching Zexo a long time ago, but if it's not, then continue giving them support. Dragon Star Materialization! That's a counter trap. I see 6 amps. I'm scared. Anyway, continuous trap card. Once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Dragon Star monster from your deck. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck except for synchro monsters. Well, considering that that's pretty much the only thing I go for in Dragon Stars, that's pretty well found out, so I kinda like it. Serious Duel. When a monster effect or spell trap card is activated during the damage step, negate the activation if you destroy it. Sort of a generic Infernity Barrier, but it says damage step. So, yeah, not stopping Mirror Force, not stopping Torrential, or anything like that. Sorry, guys. But I was kind of worried that it was the same thing. The Monarch Stormforth. Haha, this looks pretty badass. Quick play spell card. You can only activate 1. A Monarch Stormforth per turn. You also cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck during the turn you activate this card. Once per turn. Once during this turn, when you would tribute summon a monster, you can tribute 1 monster your opponent controls instead of 1 monster you control. Damn! So this is better than Soul Exchange, in my opinion. Wow, so Soul Exchange, in my opinion, is going to be booted off the deck, and this is going to be put in because it's a quick play, and it's just pretty badass. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be played over Soul Exchange now, because you can still attack. Monarchs have gotten a lot more power now. See the Splendid Spy. I'm guessing we're getting some James Bond territory here. Level 3 Fire Warrior, 1,200 attack, 1,300 defense. And that artwork right there by the spy is going to be changed because we can't have any sexual content in America because we are stupid. No. If this card is normal summon, randomly look at 1 card in your opponent's extra deck. If that monster has 2,000 or more attack, this card gains 1,000 attack. Or if it has less than 2,000 attack, you gain life points equal to its attack. Pretty nice effect. Not gonna see you play. Entertainment Bug Undola. So we get some entertainment monsters. It's a level 4 water insect, 500 attack, 600 defense. When this attack position card is targeted for an attack, you can change this card to defense position, and if you do, negate the attack. Nah, it's so. Dogu! That's a fun name to say. Dogu! 1900 attack, 0 defense, though for Earth Rock, you only use the effect of Dogu once per turn. During the end phase, if this card was sent to the graveyard this turn by your opponent's card effect, you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand whose level does not exist on your field or graveyard. Pretty nice effect. And sort of generic Stratos. Now we have Buddenborg 001. Level 1 Earth Machine, 500 attack, 500 defense. This card gains 500 attack and defense for each machine type monster you control. If 2 or more machine type monsters are special summoned at the same time while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Now we're getting to the Heavyweight Musha archetype. Heavyweight Musha Waka 02. It's kind of my categories here. Level 4 Earth Machine, 0 attack, 2000 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can change this card's battle position. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. Marshmallow. There you go. Heavyweight Musha Sword, 999. Level 3 Earth Machine, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can change this card's battle position. After damage calculations of a Heavyweight Musha monster you control that battle an opponent's monster, make that opponent's monster attack and defense 0. Next up we have Fantasia Maiden Aria, which we don't really have a picture of, but it is a level 4 Light Fairy, 1600 attack, 1200 defense. While you control this special summon card, Fantasia monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects and cannot be destroyed by battle. Pretty decent card, but only time would tell how good this card would be, considering if they bring out more Fantasia monsters. Next up we have Resonant Insect. It is a level 4 Earth Insect, 1000 attack, and 700 defense. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one level 5 or higher Insect-type monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished, you can send one Insect-type monster from your deck to the graveyard except for himself. So it's sort of a Stratos. Again, I don't think it's going to see much play, but only time would tell. It's one of these cards I feel could be good in the future. Pendulum Back. If you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, target 2 monsters in your graveyard whose levels could be Pendulum summoned by the Pendulum scales of the Pendulum cards you control and add them to your hand. It's a pretty good card, but again, not going to see much play in my opinion. Battle Guard King. Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen the first episode of Arc V, the guy decided to go Tristan on us, or Joey Wheeler, and summon Swamp Battle Card and Lava Battle Card. 2 classics. Yay. Sorry about that. Like, something kind of fidgety there. Level 8 Earth, 3000 attack, 1100 defense. Once per turn, you can tribute any number of warrior-type monsters you control except this card. During this turn, this card can make 1 additional attack for each monster you tributed. Ooh. I think this could be good in the future if they give you an easier way to summon him. But right now, you can only tribute summon him, so... So next up, we have... Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd! Hey, more Heroic Challengers! Hell yeah! Level 4 Earth Warrior, 1800 attack, 200 defense. If your opponent controls a monster while you do not, you can special this card from your hand. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. When this card inflicts damage to your opponent, you can add 1 heroic card from your deck to the hand. I say it's a pretty good card for the deck. I think it is. Good job, you're giving heroics actually good cards. Again, not gonna put them on the spot, but it's something they desperately needed. Now we have Automatopoeia. It's a field spell. Each time you special summon a Utopia monster, place a high 5 the sky counter on this card. Monsters you control gain 200 attack times the number of high 5 the sky counters on this card. Once per turn, you can remove 2 high 5 sky counters from this card, and special 1 Zubaba, Gaga Gogo, or Dododo monster from your deck. Nice vote, don't play, skip it. Jeez, how long is this? Pop Pull Up. Normal spell card. You can only activate 1 Pop Pull Up per turn. If your opponent has a card on their field spells cards, and you turn no cards in your field spell zone, activate 1 field spell card from your deck. Wow, that is actually really good in my opinion. Like the Dolces and like the Ghost Tricks, that's kind of cool. Barbaric Feast level 5. Normal spell card. Special up to 2 level 5 warrior type monsters from your hand or graveyard. The effect of some monsters is negated and cannot attack this turn, so it gives you an easy way to summon the Battle Guard King. We're almost done. We are almost done. Battle Guard Howling. Oh, that was necessary. Normal trap card. When a warrior type monster you control is targeted for an attack or an opponent's monster effect, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack, also returns to the hand. Very nice, very nice. Sacred Constellation Wave, which I'm guessing, I see it. You can probably see it. It's below that spring card. Continuous trap card. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can special summon one Telenet monster from your hand. Ultimate Offering! Illusion Breakthrough or Imaginary Breakthrough, which it's by the Telenet trap card, if that's what I'm gathering there. It is a trap card. Continuous trap card. Once per turn, you can tribute one dragon type monster, special one from your deck. One mythic type of monster with the same level as the original level of the tributed monster. Monster destroyed by battle by a monster special summoned by this effect is shuffled into the deck instead of being sent to the graveyard. And no. Ah! Change this spell! Normal trap card. When a spell or trap card is activated, destroy all cards with the same name as the activated card in the controller's main deck. Holy shit! Screw you, spell books! And ridiculous. Continuous trap card. If either player would roll a 6-sided die, treat the result as the following. If it's a 1, 3, or 5, treat it as 6. If it's a 2, 4, or 6, treat it as 1. So I guess it's more suited for the luck factor decks of dice rolling, but what a mouthful! So we're finally done with everything! My god! I don't know how long this video is, but I'm sorry for the very lengthy video, but I wanted to get this all done. I really did, so I didn't have to do much. But anyway, what are your thoughts on these cards in the comment section below? Are you excited for the Shadows? Are you excited for the new Pendulum monsters? How about the Dragon Stars? Even the Satellite Knights? How about the new Heroic support? A lot of things happening in this pack. It's amazing. It's freakishly good, and that took forever and a half. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this long-ass video. And yes, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.